Hi guys, Lewis here. I just wanted to try out the new YouTube Live. Essentially, I've been doing a lot of independent consulting at the moment, so consulting on the road, on the move, in clients' offices, and a lot of that is centered around digital transformation. So digital transformation is a word that the customers that I'm doing consulting for use. It's not necessarily the term that I will use for some of the things that they're trying to achieve. So these businesses essentially think that digital transformation is this hot new thing that needs to be integrated into their business systems and drummed into their staff's psyche. But essentially, it is just the same basic principles of consulting and business process, just with a bit of technology sort of spliced and diced into it. There's a range of different ways to tackle this sort of consulting front. A very sort of entry-level way of getting into that is looking at business vertical specific categories within a business and figuring out how you can help and assist to optimize the existing processes. So that might be something simple like optimizing and improving HR facilities, software as a service to better manage those internal resources. It might be something complex like conversion of internal IT computing from a on-premises model rather to a hybrid approach where it's on-premises and in cloud, and then it might be something where it's a full conversion to an enterprise-level cloud suite on something like AWS or Google Cloud. Whatever it might be, those are things that need to be discussed, workshopped through, and reasoned. And a lot of the time what will happen is a business will be so resource poor and so focused on the existing business mandate that they can't actually change gears with an appropriate amount of time to be able to make the most of these emerging technologies. And that's where digital transformation consultants would come in. So I come from a startup and agency background, which means I have a very strong focus on new and emerging technologies. And that essentially means keeping a finger on the pulse of any change in different types of tools, different types of processes, and different types of technologies that might be acquired or applied in a very quick and agile manner to a business. So that will essentially allow some of these larger enterprise-level businesses to basically have like a mini startup incubator, a mini innovation department within their team that is not distracted and not focused on the day-to-day activities and operation of that particular business. That can mean something to every different business, and the output of a digital consultant or a digital transformation consultant, or any consultant for that matter, might be something on a very wide scale. So at the sort of the base level, what I try and provide customers and clients at the very initial point is essentially an open forum. That might sound obvious, but essentially getting more people together in a room to discuss some of the issues that they're trying to tackle. A lot of the times when these businesses actually take on a consultant, they might not have a fully formed idea of why they want to take that consultant on. And that might sound counterintuitive, but a lot of the time, what my job actually is helping them formulate a brief about the things that they are trying to achieve by bringing a consultant on. So this is where sort of that relationship and that network comes about, because you essentially need to be confident in your own abilities and understand the type of benefit and impact you can bring to a business. And then when you get in there, help them articulate what they want from you and what they want from this process, and then how to push forward with those different components. So in terms of deliverables, building out a strategy, and that could be, as I said before, a financial strategy, a digital strategy, a transformation strategy, and that might start with a workshop, a design sprint. That might start with some data analysis, and you'll certainly touch on all of those phases, but the order might be slightly dictated by the customer or the client. But it's always good to go in with the process initially. So when I think of digital transformation as a consultant, I don't really think of digital transformation. I just think, business optimization and efficiencies and improvements that can be targeted and optimized towards. And then essentially you test and iterate on any addition that you've made. So any business process you've factored in and spliced into the operation of an individual business. So you would essentially lead with strategy. Strategy clearly defines lead and lag metrics or KPIs, and then how those can be measured. And as they're measured, you iterate on those individual goals and those targets, and you essentially push forward that way. So I'm going to do a series of videos about different components and aspects of digital transformation consultancy, which is literally just breaking down consultancy of the particular sector that I do in the digital sense into multiple atomized pieces of content. If you think this video has been valuable and you'd like to see more about the consultancy environment, consultancy ecosystem, and how to run a profitable and beneficial business, so not a business that just turns a profit, but a business that actually helps your customers help their customers. It's a bit of an inception type thing, but building a better business with bigger, better clients for bigger, better outcomes for their customers. I'd love to have you here, and feel free to follow along. Thanks.